Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Many of you already know and trust Bloomberg Tax's best-in-class tax research product. Or perhaps you're using one or more of our innovative software solutions, such as provision or fixed assets. Today, I'm excited to share Bloomberg Tax's latest product innovations we've been working on to address everyday challenges, and give you an opportunity to see for yourself how the Bloomberg Tax Suite can help streamline the way you work. But first, let's talk about how we got here. We've sat with hundreds of corporate tax professionals to understand their workflow. We've seen and heard how prevalent manual processes are, filled with pain points, lacking controls, and riddled with risk. For far too long, tax software solutions have been focused on the last mile rather than the complete corporate tax workflow. The data and calculations that power all of your deliverables are trapped in redundant processes that are largely underserved by existing tools. This forces you to use disparate solutions and waste time, whether that's wrangling data from multiple business systems, translating intelligence, or manually entering rates and rules to perform calculations. It's time for that to change. Today, we're unveiling the new generation Bloomberg Tax Suite of integrated solutions that modernize the whole corporate tax process, from data collection to tax calculations that power all of your key deliverables. Our suite was built for today's tax practitioner. It transforms disjointed and manual processes into a seamless workflow. And we've centered it all on workpapers for good reason. Your workpapers are where the most complicated, time-consuming, and painful work is done. This work can be improved by a smart solution that was built for you by seasoned tax professionals. As part of our suite, we're bringing a first-of-its-kind workpapers product to the market with everything you love about spreadsheets, supercharged for tax work. Bloomberg Tax Workpapers is also a game changer for data management, and it's the essential link between our products. Now your data from multiple business systems is prepped automatically and feeds into your tax calcs, including those for provision, fixed asset depreciation, and more. And they're all supported by a foundation of Bloomberg Tax Research, the intelligence you know and trust. You're about to hear from our team on three key elements powering our Bloomberg Tax Suite. 1, our globally trusted tax intelligence. 2, our robust automation technology. And 3, our thoughtful integration strategy. We'll share how Bloomberg Tax will change the way you source and prep data using automation. We'll show you how our AI-enabled tools inform your tax calculations right at the point of application. And we'll explain how you can take your data farther with integrated products. But don't take our word for it. You'll hear directly from customers who are already reaping the benefits of this smarter, modern suite of solutions. So let's get started. Here's our Senior Vice President of Product, Evan Krohn.
Thanks, Lisa. My team works directly with our customers to understand their challenges and create products and features that help optimize their tax workflows. Most of you likely know Bloomberg Tax for our intelligence, the portfolios, in-depth analysis, and practical guidance that we've provided for the past 60 years. It's the backbone of our company and the foundation on which we built our suite of solutions. But we know that research is just one step of your tax process. You look up rates, dates, rules, or other pertinent tax law information and plug that intelligence into your workpapers or tax software to do calculations. What if you had a seamless workflow where you don't have to interrupt your calculations to track down the latest rules and regs, but rather you have it at your fingertips? I'm here to show you the latest innovations that embed our expert intelligence exactly where you need it. First off, we know it can be extremely cumbersome and time-consuming to translate tax law and regulation updates into usable calculations. We've solved this problem with workpaper templates that simplify complex and challenging areas of tax law. Our easy-to-follow templates provide a standard approach to workpaper calculations from a trusted source. Take state calculations as an example. Each workpaper template includes detailed instructions as well as direct links to our research product that show the source of the tax law. Our experts do the research for you. No need to spend countless hours in your research tool looking for pertinent background information. To calculate state taxable income, there are of course various inputs you need, including apportionment rules. Bloomberg Tax Workpapers makes it easy with custom formulas that return what the weighting is for each state. For example, Alabama is a single sales state, so you'll see 100% in the sales weighting cell and 0% in the rows below. Whereas Alaska is an evenly weighted state, so it's returning 33% for sales, property, and payroll weighting. On all of these custom formulas, you'll see this gavel, which cites to the supporting tax law, so you can prepare your calculations with confidence. There's a similar custom formula for state tax rates. When you enter the state and the period you're looking for, it will return the rate. If new laws are implemented that change your applicable tax rate for the period, the updated rate will appear automatically. No need to manually monitor tax rate changes to ensure your work papers are up to date. What's great is that you can use cell references on these formulas and just create one and drag it across to load the applicable rate for multiple states. This is a really easy way to ensure your tax data is in sync with the latest laws. And if you have further questions, that's where our new AI question and answer tool comes in. We see the huge potential of artificial intelligence to reshape the way tax professionals work, and last year launched our first feature that produces AI-generated responses based on Bloomberg Tax content. This eliminates the need to read through long-form analysis to find the answer you're looking for. Whenever questions pop up, you no longer need to jump between tools. You can get the answer right there when you need it. The summary response provides a short answer and also identifies the source materials. And don't worry, we'll always highlight what is AI-generated versus what's created and verified by humans. Let's look at another example of how we're embedding intelligence where you need it, eliminating the need to pull rate information from a research tool. With Bloomberg Tax Provision, you can automatically apply the current state or foreign tax rates for all your entities, eliminating time-consuming manual searches, reducing the risk of inaccurate calculations, and streamlining multi-state provision processes. The tax rates that apply to your business are easily accessible. Within a state, you'll see the entities you have, as well as the rates for prior year, current year, deferred, true-up, business combinations, and the return. To get the state tax rates, users can select a state and see a short synopsis of the tax law. For multinational companies, you'll also have the ability to pull in foreign rates. But back to US. You just select the state and entity and automatically apply the rate. We've heard from customers that this saves time since they no longer need to pull the rates out of a research tool and manually enter them. It also creates controls and dramatically reduces the risks caused by copy-paste. Let's switch gears to see how your compliance work can be simplified with a tool that automatically collects forms, due dates, and other filing guidance for your entities in one platform. Compliance Tracker is a feature of Bloomberg Tax Research that gives you the tax guidance needed to never miss a filing. Start by simply uploading your entity details and watch Bloomberg Tax automatically generate all the required forms, due dates, and administrative guidance. If you click on one of these links, take the extended due dates for example, you'll see the extension requirements and supporting forms, information you previously would have had to extract and verify every single year. But with Compliance Tracker, this is all compiled for you, forms and source materials. And new capabilities make your roll forward a breeze. There's no need to upload anything new. With the click of a button, you can automatically roll forward all your entities, forms, and any custom columns. Our customers say this reduces the amount of time spent tracking their filings by 76%. Wow. Here's Jennifer Rose, Tax Director at Decra North America, to tell you how her team has gotten value from Bloomberg Tax.
I wanted to save time during our compliance process, and the procedures that were in place before I joined were really time consuming, and I had to spend a lot of time updating and double checking and making sure that the templates that we had in place were correct and that they had the most current information. When I first encountered Bloomberg Tax Compliance Tracker, I was really interested in how I could load in all of my different deadlines, different companies that we're working on, and have all of the research regarding the dates that they're due, the extensions, and some of the actual tax research embedded within the tool. Having the integration of Bloomberg Tax Research into the Compliance Tracker and into the Workpapers product has saved me a lot of time, having to not have to switch back and forth between the platforms, and I'm able to rely upon the research that I know has been validated. Not having Bloomberg tax products would mean that I would have to spend a lot more time doing my own research or engaging third-party accounting firms to answer questions that I am able to get the answers to within minutes using their products and software.
Who feels they spend too much time reconfiguring data to get it in the correct format? Or what about doing repetitive tasks every time your calculations need to be updated? It's a story we've heard from many tax professionals, and it's why we develop tax-focused automation capabilities within our suite of solutions, so you can spend your time on higher value activities and remove risk from your process. First, let's start with the fixed assets example. When we speak with customers about automating fixed asset processes, they often think the most manual and time-consuming parts will be impossible to automate. But with our automation capabilities, it's as simple as the click of a button. Whether the challenge is data from multiple ERP systems, data coming from multiple teams in the wrong format, or missing and inconsistent information, our technology reduces the burden of manual data wrangling and gives your team a clean, repeatable process. The intuitive user interface makes it easy to see the status of workflows, review your changes, and close each period with confidence. Now let's talk about how we automate the roll-forward process. It's something we know all tax professionals are faced with doing every year, if not more frequently, and it tends to be cumbersome and time-consuming. In Bloomberg Tax Workpapers, it's as easy as starting with the final signed-off workpaper. And if you want to roll forward to the next year, just select which workpaper you want and the year you want to roll forward to. Let the data transformation feature pull in the data from the relevant period. When you save and publish the results, the new workpaper will provide a summary of everything that was done, and all the values will be automatically updated with the new data source. This capability takes the manual work out of the roll-forward process. Additionally, it allows preparers to efficiently update formulas and links between workpapers, saving time and ensuring accuracy. Our customers say this automation saves them hours each period. Now, let's hear from Highland Software's tax team on how they use Bloomberg Tax products.
We outsource a lot of the complex calculations and analysis to our third-party providers, and we have been looking for more control over that data, which we don't currently have. Using the Bloomberg Tax Workpapers to create the calculations, and I know where the data is coming from, and I know that it's correct, and I know how it's being linked and calculated. That gives me a lot of assurance that the output is correct and I can explain it.
Just starting with like a starting point is going to save us a lot of time, as opposed to opening up a blank Excel sheet that has nothing on it and saying, okay, build me a roll forward for this complex calculation from 2023 to 2024. I mean, that right there is going to save hours and hours of work. You can still use the functionality of Excel, but you can build things faster and have the ability for them to roll over year much quicker than if you did it manually within your own workpapers. You're building like complex data connections, and it's a pretty user-friendly interface to do that. If you're just writing code or building an Excel formula, I don't think a lot of that is intuitive to a normal user or somebody that's not very tech savvy, whereas this is pulling in a lot of different data, and it's pretty intuitive.
There is real value in bringing complex calculations and having oversight and control over things that have a material impact on the organization and having that in-house.
At this point in our program, you've gotten a sneak peek at the game-changing capabilities of our new product, Bloomberg Tax Workpapers. It's a spreadsheet and data transformation tool supercharged for tax work. But what truly sets it apart is the fact that it's integrated with the other Bloomberg Tax solutions, which creates a seamless workflow. First, let's look at the benefits of the integration between Bloomberg Tax Workpapers and Bloomberg Tax Provision. M-adjustment calculations derived from the trial balance are among the most common calcs required to support tax provision work, but they must be updated when there's new trial balance data. Now, you can automate this with a click of a button. Simply load your prior period trial balance and current period trial balance into Bloomberg Tax Workpapers. Then, leverage data transformation to join the trial balances together, compute M-adjustments, and send to Bloomberg Tax Provision. With just one click, you'll receive the data in Bloomberg Tax Provision, and the amounts will be updated. And if the trial balance changes, simply upload the new version. No more time lost on repetitive manual processes. Another pain point we frequently hear from our customers is the back and forth required with other teams to get the data they need to perform tax calculations. How much easier and faster would it be if the tax department could import external data from ERP or GL systems directly into their calculation tools, cutting out the middleman? Let's jump back into the product and I'll show you how. Bloomberg Tax Workpapers enables a secure file transfer with a framework where you can set up integrations and pull data from your ERP systems directly into the Workpapers process. To start, select an input block in the data source. Check the files you'd like and configure as needed. And there you go. Now you have your ERP data in Bloomberg Tax Workpapers, and you can use it for the basis for all of your calculations. As you've seen, there is so much value in having an integrated tax workflow centered around Bloomberg Tax Workpapers. It allows you to easily transform data, do workpaper calculations, and send calculation outputs to your provision, all with research intelligence at your fingertips throughout the process. And our customers agree. Riveron is a tax and accounting firm who is using Bloomberg Tax Provision, Workpapers, and tax research together to make their client work simpler. And on top of that is a certified implementation partner.
At Riveron, we currently use Bloomberg Tax Provision, research, as well as Workpapers. And it's great to have something that's so interconnected so that you're not having to go to multiple platforms. It's almost like one-stop shopping. Bloomberg Tax Research really has it all. And you can get great information that's helpful to read, easy to read. And you can also use the features within Workpapers and Provision to pull in those tax rates. So it's nice to have a complete set of information at your fingertips. Bloomberg Tax Workpapers, I think, is really going to give clients the ability to use data in multiple ways for one, not only the tax provision, but also then be able to use it for the tax return, getting rid of duplicative work that occurs over the course of a year. Implementing this software, especially on the tax provision side, is so much more straightforward than any other implementation of tax software that I've done out there. And so I think that is a huge part of the value. Not only is it simple, it's actually the implementation of some of these pieces is really an easy lift.
Thank you all for watching. As you've seen, our products are built for you, your challenges, your needs, and your process. It's time to end your struggle with error-prone and time-consuming manual tasks. Stop wrestling with cumbersome spreadsheets that crash your computer. And say goodbye to wasting countless hours tracking down the latest rules and regs to update your calculations. Request a demo or call your representative today to find out everything you can do with Bloomberg Tax.